At the heart of Buddhist wisdom, many traditions are passed down from generation to generation, maintaining the balance between body, mind, and spirit. One such tradition is the practice of placing salt in shoes, a seemingly simple gesture, but one that carries profound spiritual symbolism. Since ancient times, salt has been considered a powerful element, not only for its culinary properties but for its role as a purifying and protective agent. In Eastern cultures, salt symbolizes purity, protection, and the ability to absorb negative energies. It is seen as a spiritual barrier against malign influences, and at the same time, a symbol of renewal. When placed in shoes, salt acts as an amulet, protecting the individual on their journey, both physically and spiritually. This practice is deeply rooted in Eastern medicine and Buddhism, where it is believed that every step we take in life is charged with energy. Just as we need physical protection against rough terrain, we also need spiritual protection against invisible obstacles. Placing salt in shoes is a way to ensure that our steps are light and protected, while connecting us with the earth and the spiritual forces around us. This tradition dates back to times when people relied on salt not only to preserve food, but also to purify and sanctify spaces. By carrying it in their shoes, travelers protected themselves from evil spirits, believing that salt absorbed any negative influence that tried to prevent them from reaching their goals. In this way, salt in shoes is not only a tool of protection, but also a way to honor the forces of nature and ensure that our journey is safe and prosperous. Salt, in Buddhist practice, goes beyond being a simple physical element. It carries a deep meaning related to absorbing worries, tensions, and suffering. Just as salt can absorb moisture, it can also absorb the emotional and spiritual burdens we carry through life. When placed in shoes, it acts as a purifier, helping to ease the weight of the concerns we accumulate on our journey. Imagine life's path as a long road filled with challenges and adversities. As we walk, we may feel burdened by responsibilities, worries, and negative emotions. Salt in shoes symbolizes the intention to release these burdens, allowing our steps to be lighter and our minds clearer and more peaceful. It acts as a spiritual filter, absorbing what is negative and leaving us with a sense of lightness and renewal. In the story of Makoto, the revered monk, he explains to his disciples that life is a journey of self-discovery, and to fully walk this path, we must release the emotional weight we carry. Just as Buddha absorbed the suffering of the world, salt absorbs the worries and tensions that hinder our progress. This practice teaches us that to achieve inner peace and balance, we must be willing to let go of what weighs us down. Thus, placing salt in shoes is not just a physical gesture, but a ritual of detachment. It reminds us of the importance of leaving behind what no longer serves us, allowing each step to be a step forward towards serenity and wisdom. With each grain of salt, we are symbolically releasing the daily worries, allowing our walk to be lighter and more fluid. Beyond absorbing worries, salt holds a powerful function of purification, both physical and spiritual. In Buddhist practice, it is seen as an element that can cleanse impurities, whether they are physical or energetic. By walking with salt in shoes, we are literally cleansing our path, protecting ourselves from external influences, and purifying our mind and spirit so that we can move forward with more clarity and focus. Monk Makoto teaches that just as we purify our home with salt to remove negative energies, we must also purify our personal path. Every step we take brings us closer to or farther from spiritual balance. Placing salt in our shoes ensures that we are protected from the temptations and illusions of the outside world, allowing us to move forward with clarity of purpose. This practice is deeply rooted in ancient traditions, where salt was used to purify sacred spaces and protect individuals from malign spiritual influences. Salt, in its natural purity, has the power to neutralize negative energies, ensuring that our path remains clean and protected. By placing it in our shoes, we are symbolically creating a field of protection around us, ensuring that negative energies cannot reach us as we advance on our spiritual journey. In the story of a traveler who faced a river infested with evil spirits, he was only able to cross it safely thanks to the salt in his shoes, which protected him from negative influences. This shows us that salt not only purifies, but also protects us from invisible dangers, allowing us to move forward without fear. Thus, walking with salt in shoes is a practice that not only protects but also strengthens our spirit, allowing us to move safely towards inner peace. Inner balance is one of the fundamental pillars in the Buddhist spiritual journey, and salt, in its simplicity, can be a powerful ally in the quest for that stability. Placing salt in shoes is more than a physical gesture. It is a way to connect with the earth and find firmness amid life's storms. Salt, like the mountains that surrounded Makoto's monastery, symbolizes stability and strength, anchoring us in the present and protecting us from emotional fluctuations. In life, we are constantly challenged by highs and lows, and often, it's easy to lose balance. Salt in shoes acts as a physical and spiritual reminder that we need to remain grounded, even in the face of adversity. It connects us to the earth, allowing us to feel more stable and grounded in our journey, regardless of circumstances. For Makoto, salt symbolizes the ability to remain strong and stable, even when everything around us seems unstable. Just as mountains stand firm in the face of storms, salt helps us maintain our inner stability, ensuring that we are not knocked down by life's challenges. Every step taken with salt in shoes is a step towards stability and spiritual resilience. The balance that salt provides is not just physical, but also mental and emotional. It helps us find a balance between work and rest, between action and contemplation. This practice teaches us the importance of maintaining harmony in our lives, avoiding extremes, and cultivating a path of moderation and serenity. When we walk with salt in our shoes, we are symbolically affirming our commitment to seek balance in all areas of our life. In Eastern medicine, salt is recognized for its healing properties. It has been used for centuries to treat physical pain and relieve tensions. By placing salt in our shoes, we are not only protecting our spiritual path, but also seeking relief from the tensions and discomforts we accumulate throughout the journey. Salt, in contact with our feet, acts as a purifier, alleviating both the physical and mental tensions. Makoto, the elder monk, shares with his disciples the story of a farmer who suffered from an open wound on his foot. By soaking his foot in a saline solution, he found relief and healing. This story reflects the belief that salt has the power to heal not only physical wounds, but also the invisible pains we carry in our minds and spirits. When we place salt in our shoes, we are symbolically asking the universe to relieve our pain and tension, allowing us to walk with more lightness and peace. This practice teaches us the importance of taking care of not only the body, but also the mind and spirit. By alleviating the tensions we accumulate, salt helps us find more clarity and balance in our daily life. In addition to its healing properties, salt also teaches us the importance of being kind to ourselves. It reminds us that just as we need to care for our physical wounds, we also need to heal the emotional and spiritual wounds we accumulate throughout life. Each grain of salt in our shoes is a reminder that healing begins from within, and that by taking care of ourselves, we can move forward in our journey with more strength and serenity. Salt is a precious gift from the earth, and using it consciously in our shoes is a way to express gratitude for all that we receive from the planet. In Buddhist tradition, gratitude is a fundamental practice, and salt, as a symbol of purity and protection, reminds us of the importance of being thankful for the gifts that nature offers us. Every grain of salt we place in our shoes is an offering to the earth, a recognition of its generosity. For Makoto, the elder monk, salt represents a sacred bond between humans and nature. He teaches his disciples that by using salt consciously, we are honoring the earth and recognizing its ability to nourish and protect us. The practice of placing salt in shoes is, therefore, an act of gratitude, a gesture that connects us to the natural forces that sustain our lives. This gratitude is not limited to the salt itself, but extends to everything that life offers us, both joys and challenges. Salt reminds us to be grateful for the experiences that shape us, even those that seem difficult at the moment. It symbolizes acceptance and recognition that every step we take in life is an opportunity for learning and growth. By walking with salt in our shoes, we are reminded to practice gratitude in all areas of our lives. Every step is an opportunity to thank the journey, the teachings, and the blessings we receive. The use of salt is, therefore, a gesture of connection with the earth, and a constant reminder that by cultivating gratitude, we open space for more abundance and prosperity in our lives. The practice of placing salt in shoes is more than a simple personal act. It is a ritual that connects us with past generations. Each grain of salt carries with it the memory and wisdom of those who came before us. By adopting this tradition, we are linking ourselves to an ancestral cycle of protection, healing, and resilience that transcends time and space. In Buddhist wisdom, there is a deep respect for traditions and ancestors. Makoto, the wise monk, teaches his disciples that by following this practice, we are honoring those who preceded us and carrying their wisdom forward. Salt, in its simplicity, becomes a link between the present and the past, reminding us that we are part of a lineage of spiritual seekers. Placing salt in shoes is, therefore, more than just personal protection. It is a way of participating in a larger legacy, of uniting our individual journeys with those who have walked this earth before. Every step we take with salt in our shoes is a tribute to our ancestors, a way of carrying their stories and lessons with us. This ritual also reminds us that we are not alone in our journey. Just as our ancestors faced challenges and found ways to overcome them, we too can learn from their experiences and use their wisdom to illuminate our own path. Salt in shoes is thus a symbol of connection with past generations and a reminder that by honoring our history, we strengthen our present and create a more conscious and balanced future. The act of placing salt in shoes symbolizes, above all, the spiritual lightness we seek in our daily journey. In modern life, we are constantly overwhelmed by worries, responsibilities, and tensions. Salt, by absorbing these heavy energies, helps us walk more lightly, allowing us to leave behind what prevents us from moving forward. In Buddhist practice, detachment is a fundamental concept. Makoto, the elder monk, teaches his disciples that just as we cannot carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, we should not carry the worries we accumulate in life on our feet. Salt in shoes reminds us to release these burdens, to let go of the concerns and tensions that weigh us down so that we can move forward with more lightness and clarity. Each step taken with salt in shoes is an invitation to leave behind what no longer serves us. Just as salt purifies and protects, it also symbolizes the act of detaching from the past, allowing us to focus on the present and move forward with a lighter mind and freer spirit. Salt helps us create space for new energies and opportunities, eliminating what holds us back from progressing. This practice teaches us that spiritual lightness is not only a condition for achieving inner peace, but also a way to connect more deeply with the world around us. By walking without the weight of worries, we are more open to life's experiences, more willing to learn, and more prepared to face challenges with serenity and wisdom. Salt in shoes is thus a tool that helps us cultivate this lightness and walk more balanced on our journey. Salt, in its purifying function, is also a powerful guardian against evil energies. Since time immemorial, salt has been used as a barrier of protection, not only in physical environments but also in the spiritual field. When placed in shoes, it acts as an invisible shield, protecting us from negative influences that may try to divert us from our spiritual path. Makoto, the wise monk, shares with his disciples a story about a traveler who faced a river infested with evil spirits. He managed to cross it safely thanks to the salt in his shoes, which protected him from negative forces. This story illustrates how salt not only purifies but also provides robust protection against energies that can try to destabilize us. In Buddhist tradition, it is believed that our spiritual path is filled with challenges, both internal and external. Negative energies can manifest in various forms, whether through destructive thoughts, external influences, or even encounters with people who are not in harmony with our journey. Salt, when placed in shoes, creates a protective barrier, ensuring that we can continue our journey with focus and determination without being influenced by evil forces. This practice of spiritual protection is a way to keep our minds and spirits at peace, regardless of external circumstances. When we use salt in shoes, we are symbolically telling the universe that we are protected and ready to face any challenge that may arise. Salt, as a spiritual guardian, offers us safety and confidence so that we can continue our journey in search of inner peace and enlightenment, free from the negative influences that could divert us from our purpose. The practice of placing salt in shoes, although simple, has the power to deeply transform our daily lives. Its benefits go far beyond protection and purification. They touch on more subtle aspects of our spiritual and emotional journey, helping us live with more lightness, clarity, and purpose. Every grain of salt we place in our shoes is an opportunity for transformation, a way to align our being with the forces of nature and the universe. Makoto teaches that by adopting this practice daily, we begin to notice subtle but profound changes in our lives. Our steps become lighter, our minds clearer, and our hearts more open. Salt in shoes not only protects and purifies, but also helps us maintain balance in all areas of our lives, ensuring that we can face challenges with serenity and wisdom. This practice also teaches us the importance of simplicity. Often, we seek complex solutions to our problems when, in fact, the answer may lie in simple gestures, such as placing salt in our shoes. Salt, in its humility, reminds us that true transformation begins with small actions, with the small rituals we incorporate into our daily routine. By adopting this practice, we commit to living with more intention and presence. Every step taken with salt in shoes is a declaration that we are ready to live our lives with more balance, clarity, and purpose. The benefits of this practice may not be immediately visible, but over time, we begin to see how it helps us feel more connected, more protected, and more aligned with our spiritual path.